Hello, my name is Adam Begellen and I'm a mechanical engineer. Today I want to tell you about and demonstrate a little bit about simple machines. Simple machines are the 6 really basic machines that you can get mechanical advantage with without any power source. No electricity, no fuel, but you can still do stuff with these machines that you wouldn't otherwise be able to do. Now, the first machine I want to discuss is the lever. Now, I feel the best way to talk about a lever is to refer back to my childhood where I watched Looney Tunes cartoons, and specifically Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. Have you ever wondered how a 25-pound coyote can lift 250-pound anvil? Aside from the fact that, he's a cartoon and physics don't apply in cartoons, but say they did. Say that, how could that coyote lift 250-pound anvil? Now, he could have friends, but we never see friends, and he doesn't have electricity. So what does he do in the desert in Arizona? Well, we're going to use a lever. Okay, so to demonstrate this, we need an anvil. Now, I don't have a 250-pound anvil. I've got a 21-pound anvil, which really isn't very good to represent it. I've got a 110-pound anvil and a 145-pound anvil. So I think with these anvils, we should be able to demonstrate how Wile E. Coyote is able to lift such a heavy weight. Before anything, we need our PPE, safety first. Steel-toed boots. All right, so I've stacked up our anvils and I've attached them together. Now I said 250 pounds and we're at 287 pounds, but that's okay, right? Yeah, I can't lift 287 pounds, not even close, right? There's no way. Now, to do this with a lever, what a lever is, think of a seesaw or teeter-totter in a park, right? You have the weight on one side, and you push down on the other side, and in the middle is what's called the fulcrum or pivot point. We're going to use this tube here clamped into this vise as our pivot point, okay? We are going to use this board as our lever. All right, so here's our lever. Now there are a few things that are important to make a good lever. One is it needs to be strong. Now what we have here is a piece of hickory. Hickory is a really, really tough wood. It's about 8 inches wide and about 2 inches thick. This is a really, really pretty tough piece of wood. The other thing that's important are the lengths. And now there's 2 lengths that we need to be concerned about. The length from where the load is applied to the pivot, and from the pivot to where the lifting force is applied, down here, okay? So, we're at 20 inches and 40 inches. What this means is if I push down here, I get, if you divide 40 by 20, you get 2. So I have a mechanical advantage of 2. This is twice as long as this. 2 times mechanical advantage. If this is 187 pounds, I should be able to use half of that to lift it. Holy smoke! I can lift it, but it's still extremely hard. There's no way a 25-pound coyote is lifting this. So what are we going to do differently to make this work? Instead, what we need to do is use a longer lever. Alright, so now we have a real long lever. Again, 20 inches to the pivot, and $168 inches to the end. Now, if we call that 160, just to make the math easy, 160 divided by 20 is 8. So now we should have an 8 times mechanical advantage. It should be 8 times easier to lift the mass. 8 times easier should be really pretty straightforward. So, you never get anything for free, and what you give up to be able to lift that weight is two things. One, you need a very large amount of space, and two, you have to push it a long distance for a very short distance that the anvils move. In fact, remember that this is an 8-to-1 lever. I have to push this 8 times further than the anvils move. This simple machine trades distance for weight. The interesting thing about this lever is this one is made of white ash. Now, white ash is not quite as strong as hickory, but it's still very strong. The other funny thing is this board itself is so heavy, it almost lifts the anvils on its own. The weight of the lever itself helps out lifting the anvils. And that, the ratio of the length from one side of the fulcrum to the other side of the fulcrum is the ratio of your lever, and the ratio is how much mechanical advantage you get. And that's how the lever works. Perfect for squishing road runners.